All right. All right. All right. Here we are. This is a new venue because it is a new day. For those of you who are here, tell me, are all the things working? Because I have a new setup today in a new place and I want to know, like, oh, by the way, how's it going? It's Wednesday. It's Livestream Wednesday. Margaret says all good. So, quick question. I know I ask this every time I come out to my main room, but can you hear the sound like bouncing off the ceiling because the ceilings are really high and the floor is really wood? It's not exactly the carpeted, like small space that I was streaming in before. I would much rather stream out here. I just don't know if the acoustics are good. Margaret says it sounds not much different, I think. Just no, just bright. It is extremely bright in here. And the light is odd because the light's coming from over here and from over there and from over there. And so I don't know. I don't know how this will play out. Maybe, yeah, I don't know. But anyway, it's Wednesday. Hello, folks. Thank you for those of you who are dropping in today. Today, I am drinking water instead of coffee because I've been up for a while. So, those of you who know, yeah, slight echo. Yeah, I wonder if using my other mic, if that would make it better. Hard to say. I do wonder though if the picture, like the streaming quality, is better simply because I'm closer to the router, closer to the Wi-Fi. It looks like less grainy to me out here. So today was like a kind of a major milestone, and not necessarily for websites, but in life. Like today is the first day that all of my kids are at school. And so I've been kind of looking forward to this day for a while because I look at it like a turning point for this business, right? For being able to work consistently every day during the week online on blog posts or on websites or on things. And it finally happened today. So I'm like, well done, me. We survived, made it happen, etc. But as part of this, and I want to throw this out there for folks who are in this space, this is also a time to not just work more, although that would be my inclination, but also to add some other maybe self care into that time. I'm just before I go down that road, I'm watching people drop into the chat. I wanted to say hi to some friends. I see Ken got here first. Well done. Our friend Game Guy and Josh, thank you. I was shipping the kids off to the gulag. And there's Margaret and Ken and Soren and Niche Safari Chris. Thank you, Chris. Chris remembered that we were here today, so it was awesome that he is there. And there is Marika and Jen. All the friends rolling in today to celebrate with me this milestone of sending all the children to school for the first time. That did happen today. I definitely have I want to spend some time like sitting down and really deciding what my goal should be as far as like a schedule, as far as working, because usually I just work like mad when the kids aren't here, and now they will be here less. Like sad face for me, but figuring out what that will look like. I also am trying to make some other goals of adding some focus on like health. Shocking, right? If you're in the chat right now and you make effort on a weekly basis to add some sort of physical activity, I would love for you to put in the chat one, like what you do and how you do. And if you don't, then why not? Because it would be great to hear what people are doing. I actually took a took a page out of this space, right, of having a community, and I found 4 or 5 other moms in my community who have recently had their kids start school, and we are doing like a couch to 5K sort of accountability group. So I have an accountability group where everybody checks in when they do stuff, and it's cool to have. But so that's one of the things I want to add in addition to working more on a consistent basis is building up to finishing a 5K by Thanksgiving, which for those of you who don't know, that is like close to the end of November. I don't expect it to feel good and I have started jogging a little bit, and it feels awful. I was trying to think of a good way to describe it, and if you've ever had like a bag of marbles and just shook it, that's sort of what it feels like right now. Everything feels all strange, but I've started, and hopefully I will get there. And I'm trying to live my the things that I tell everybody to do, like to be honest and say, okay, if I put it out there and I tell people, then I know because of me, I'm much more motivated when people know that I've said I'm going to do something, because I don't want to fail. I don't want people to know that I failed. So the goal, I'm just saying it out now, is now that I have more work time, is I want to make sure to include at least enough physical activity between now and Thanksgiving to finish. I didn't say it had to be pretty. I didn't say it had to be fast. I just want to be able to complete a 5K by Thanksgiving. So I'm just putting it out there into the world, and anybody else who would like to join in is welcome to join me. Harold, what is going on? Jen says it's bittersweet. It is. I know that they're fine, right? My daughter is in kindergarten, and I know it's fine, but I'm still like, oh God, I hope she's okay. It's hard to resist taking a nap. Yeah, I have so much to do. My house is so wrecked right now. Game Guy says our physical activity is house cleaning. We spend 10 minutes per day cleaning, organizing the house. Well, that is well done. I need to spend more than that because my house cannot be cleaned up in 10 minutes. Hey, Mark, what is up? Soren says he runs and goes to the gym for a spin bike. Now, if you follow Soren on Instagram, I noticed him doing eating popcorn while watching fitness videos. That was one of the recent. So that implied that maybe you weren't as physically active as you claim to be. Ken says he has a spin bike and he also cycles, but not lately due to COVID, which is a bummer. Soren says he naps when the kids are at school. That sounds so decadent. Emil says he plays tennis, and if he doesn't like the physical activity, then he can't find the motivation to do it. So that's a great point, is finding something that you like to do. In addition to doing all of this stuff will make it more likely that you would be able to do it. John says he loves the living room set. Yes, I plan to try streaming out here for a while. I think the lighting is not savable. It's just going to be odd for a while until I work on something else. For now, I just would like to work out here. Harold says he's been walking to the fridge a lot. Does that count? I would say yes. I was reading an article recently that said like a certain amount of steps that you complete each day helps stave off like dementia. So if you just walk back and forth to the fridge a lot, you'll be less likely to get dementia. I don't know how that will play out for heart disease, but dementia should be all good. John says he's back from his holiday. Yes, he dropped in last week to let us know he was in Greece and was too busy to hang out with us. And Soren says, yes, he eats a lot of popcorn. So anyway, I am here. I hope to make more YouTube videos than I have made in the last year, because I don't necessarily have the excuse anymore of not having as much time, because I now have more time. So the helpful content update. Last week, everybody was rolling in like, I haven't noticed anything and everything is all good. And then over the weekend, I started to notice some things. The fight side is okay. The otis.global case study site is actually up, which is awesome. But the MEGA site, which I thought would get a boost in the content update, just because the purple line, the impressions line in Search Console was like way up, has definitely fallen in the last couple of days, starting over the weekend-ish, and then has started to fall. And I think it's going to be a couple weeks before I know how bad it will be, just overall. I don't know what, I don't know why, I don't know how. Most of the keywords look stable in SERProbot that I'm tracking, but I'm not tracking them all. I do notice, though, when I look at Google Analytics, and what I'm looking at over there is actually that right now, is that I used to have several articles that got more than 250 page views in a week, because I just look at last 7 days, and all of those have fallen, right? So, I mean, the reason the site gets a lot of traffic now is because there's 1,000 posts, and there's 1,000 posts getting, somewhere between 50 and 200 page views in a month. Like, there's lots, but all of my big posts, like all of the ones that you call outliers, like they've all like, and any of the ones that were kind of close to being and outliers are all. I haven't gone and tracked and figured out which ones and where they all went, because frankly, I cannot be bothered. I would much rather drink my coffee, drink my water, and instead of like trying to decipher what happened and why, because tomorrow it might be different. And I have, at this point, zero control over it. But it definitely just like another, like, sort of feeling that it's just never ending. I know that I'm not the only one. I saw, for those of you who follow Ann Moss, I saw that she had posted that one of her sites did take a dive in the last week, and I know some of our other friends have lost some traffic. I saw Jasper had posted about one of his sites that was down, and yeah, it's just demoralizing. But hey, I'm just going to continue to do what I usually do, which is soldier on and try to make the best of it. And so that is ultimately the plan. I mean, I would love to come back next week and then see that it was Labor Day. Like Jen suggests, is it possible that it's Labor Day and not the update? It is entirely possible. But usually that particular site is something that people do when they're not at work. And so they tend to, on days where there's not work, like holidays or weekends, that site tends to do better instead of doing worse. So it's just not really a likely time for that to fall. So fingers crossed, though, maybe it is seasonal, and maybe things are good, but I'm not sure that they are. Ken says, best wait and see what comes in 2 weeks' time. Absolutely. I mean, it seems wasteful at this point to try to do any digging into what has been done or what will be done, because I don't know. Also, I'm looking at the like button status, and I feel like we need to send people over there to touch it or smash it or all of the things. Thank you, the person who just went and hit it right now. I appreciate that. Let's see. John says he's back at work, which is awesome. Ken says, best wait to see. I think I read through those. Sports stories. Thanks for dropping into the chat today. He says, what you've seen so far is the new update is focusing on big sites with wider niches, so may be time to focus and narrow down. Perhaps. Our friend Sabina is in the chat. Mom Van Up, what is going on, dear? So I know that you have started a new job, a new position. I just know that from the Icarus spreadsheet. I will be interested and definitely curious to see how you work on balancing like new work and then these other online goals with family. I am 100% confident that you will make it happen, though. That is one thing I know is going to happen. Sonia, what is going on, Sonia? How's it going? Has anybody else been impacted yet by the hopeful content update? And if so, how much and how do you feel about it? Please let me know in the chat so I don't feel so lonely. I did sit down right before this chat, and I actually was one of the reasons why I was scrambling to get over here at the straight up at the top of the hour, because I was watching Sean Mars's, I'm looking at my notes, his month 8 video for his $1 million blog project. And Sean has been on the channel, but not recently. It's been quite a while, but I do respect that guy a lot. And this is an ambitious project. So it was, I think the plan was to do nothing but work on this project until he got it to where he wanted to go. And I think it's interesting now to see, what the challenges are for him. It looks like the project is doing well, like it is moving, it's going in the right direction. But it's like I don't want to say it's good to see people. I don't want to say struggle, but experience some of the same challenges that I have, which is really wanting to see projects grow commensurate with the amount of effort and money that we put into them, and to see that even the people that I look up to and that I think of as colleagues and friends, like to see them, um, I don't say struggling, but just, like going through the same things that I am, and to feel like, okay, like it's not just me, it's not just people on YouTube doing amazing and I'm the only one who's not. It's like, this is kind of how the industry is, and this is what it is like. And so I appreciate his videos and just how honest he is about what he's doing and how things are going. So it's a shout out for Sean. Um, and yeah, check out his month 8 video. I'm like 2/3 of the way through it, and I probably will have to go back and watch it again because I was watching it at 2x speed just so I could try to get it done before the stream. And I, with his accent, I think I probably missed some things. Oh, when it's back to the update, the helpful content update. Let's see. Soren says no impact, which is good. I'd rather see no impact than negative impact. Coop says that his Icarus is just launching good. Discover is a weird thing. All right, all right. Sonia says her site increased by 20%, which is awesome. High five. Chris says he's down 30% on one of his sites, and that hurts. I feel your friend. I do feel you there. And fingers crossed that it will come back. Game Guy says that Sean is just amazing. How in the world did he write 200,000 words in a month while being sick with COVID for 2 weeks? He did, and I did catch this despite his accent and 2x speed, that he was using AI tools during that time, at least to do some of the helping. So he definitely didn't sit down and like type out every word. He was getting some aid, but still 200,000 words in a month while sick. For the 3rd time, he got COVID 3 times is pretty mind-blowing. Sports stories. John says he started listening to songs at 2x speed. Why do you listen to songs at 2x speed? Are you trying to consume more music, like for the benefit of your brain? Like, what's up with that? Sports Stories says one of my newer websites, which is 7 months old, has been positively impacted by both April and this website. Not substantial, but 10 to 15% increase in keywords ranking and a little in traffic. Hey, I would take that versus the opposite. The opposite is so demotivating and demoralizing. Then, but yeah, I mean that comes back though to something that we've talked about here for a long time, which is disconnecting motivation and how we feel about our projects from the stats, right? So Luke Jordan was one of the guys in the last year who has talked about just completely cutting off access to analytics for a long time, not just a month or weeks, but like starting a site and then not looking for like the first year or 2 years until you just really work on the project, which I don't know if that's possible because you need almost those analytics to tell you if the site's working. Like is the project working? Is it going? But really staying out of them a lot, I think, can help separate how we feel on a daily basis from what is actually happening with the site. John says some of his songs sound better when he plays them at 2x speed. And then I think maybe you're just listening to the wrong music. If you have to listen to the music at 2x speed to make it sound good, then maybe you're just starting from the spot of listening to the wrong music. I'm just gonna throw that out there. What else is going on, folks? It is go time for me as far as trying to get to 500 articles on the fight site, and also 500 articles on the otis.global case study site. I'm basically making the executive decision to pull back, and then I'm still going to try to post content monthly on the Mega site, but less of in the range of 50, 60, 70 articles, and more in the range of like 3 to 10 articles in a month. I'd like to see sort of where that site settles out, and I'd like to build these other projects. And if the site stabilizes, I might try to sell it next year. It's been a really fun project, and I've learned so much from it, but I'm kind of starting to feel pressure to take some money off the table. I just, I feel like maybe it's my anxiety talking, because that project, I have long thought that it would be a project that I would be able to grow to my first 5-figure a month site. But every time I get jazzed up about it, the Google comes back and it's like, I don't think so. I don't think so at all. Ken wants to know, what's the channel name for Sean Mars, and it's Sean Mars. I'm gonna go and copy it, and I will put it right over here. Tortoise Cash Flow. I think that's Anthony, actually. Tortoise Cash Flow. That's our friend Anthony. Let's see. Sports Story says that one thing that he sees is winning keywords on Bing and other search engines have a positive push on Google. So taking a look at those in Search Console is advisable. Yeah, we was talking with Eric about that recently, and Eric went into his Bing Webmaster Tools and discovered that Bing had de-indexed his site and didn't have any of his articles indexed, and for no reason at all. It just, that can happen. And so logging in over there, quarterly maybe could be a good idea, just to make sure that there's nothing weird or funky going on there. Harold says that still no significant change in his numbers. That leveled off a couple months ago, which is disappointing, as I've never stopped adding content, but still a win since I haven't been hit hard yet. Yeah, I feel like something I have to sit down and really think about here, now that I have, I guess, some space and some time, is one, like, do I want to try and sell the Mega site next year? And if so, like, what should I start doing now to get it ready? I mean, will I be able to? And if so, like, where and who and how? There's a lot of arguments about pushing on content like all the way up to the time of sale versus cutting off all new content, so that the content that you put in will age in and you'll show a more accurate reflection of what the actual traffic for the site will be. Yeah, I know I've got a lot to think about over there. Jay-Z says sell it. Soren says turquoise cash flow is awesome too. Yeah, Anthony works pretty hard. He's I think the real deal as far as trying to make this his career and to make it, and I think he's worthwhile to follow. Folks, I do think that today is probably going to be a short one. I'm sort of running out of things that I want to talk about. They got the kids to school, and I need to sit down and like make a plan. I've got 100 articles for the month is my goal, and so far I've posted 1, and I did that this morning. So I think rather than like dither and dather, I'm going to get to work, and I hope to spend some time creating more content for YouTube. And I am looking forward to coming back next week with maybe more of a plan. Soren says, if you sell it, what will you do with the money then? That's a great question. And I'm not going to think about my chickens just yet. I think that I should focus on getting the money first, and then worry about where it will go and who and how. All right, folks, I'm going to get off this platform and get to work. All right, take care. See you later.